Wonderful, Tash. Thank you so much for being with us, and thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being you and all your great creations. For those that are listening and tuning in, we are live from Tash's cafe and juicery called Nourish in Observatory in Cape Town, which is absolutely stunning. I'm pretty sure there's some beautiful imagery of it on the screen right now. And Tash today is going to guide us through 10 tips to be a badass eco-warrior. Thank you so much, Tash.
Pleasure. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. It's definitely a journey trying to be as sustainable and eco-conscious. It doesn't come overnight. Everyone is at their own stage of their journey on trying to become more conscious about how much impact they are having on the planet. And yeah, I mean, I had started only this journey about 2 years ago, where I think my main concern with opening a cafe was what bottles was I going to use for the juice. I felt like if I used plastic, people would feel it was easier to throw plastic in the bin, and I didn't want more plastic to be heading to our landfills. So I decided that we were going to have only glass. So these are our glass juice containers, and these are our smoothie, and you work with the deposit system. So you pay 10 Rand deposit on the glass jar, and then when you bring it in again, you won't pay that because it's like a recycling program. So today we're going to be talking about 10 tips on how to be a badass eco-warrior, and I will get straight to point number 1. Number 1 would be your straws, and I can definitely say that it was the easiest tip for me to adjust to. You can buy yourself a reusable bamboo straw or a stainless steel straw or a glass straw. Keep it in your handbag, and whenever you go to cafes, you do not need to use a plastic straw. You've got your own. Tip number 2 would be your plastic carrier bags that you go grocery shopping with. So I really advise people to reuse material tote bags, sort of shopping bags, and really try and reduce the amount of plastic that you buy from these grocery stores. One, it's expensive. You're going to be paying for the shopping bag, the plastic one. And 2, you're going to be polluting the environment, and you can get yourself a beautiful material tote bag and just be conscious and aware enough when you go grocery shopping, you bring your bags with you and you'll have those with you. While we're on the shopping topic, this was one which I was most surprised about, but you can get little mesh produce bags. So when you go to the fruit and veg aisle at your grocery store and you're buying onions or whatever it may be, you have that roll of plastic. Instead of taking that non-recyclable plastic, rather get a reusable mesh. It doesn't even have to be, but you can also just wear it on if you want to bring your material tote bag, you can wear it with that. But avoid pulling and rolling out that unnecessary unrecyclable plastic. Another one that we can go into, I think we're on tip number 3 now, is to create the awareness in your community. So I would really suggest and encourage people to talk about the issue around sustainability and eco-consciousness, and post about it on your social media platforms, and really to spread the message as far as possible. The more people are talking about it, the further the message is going to go. That's a big one. Number 4 is living a plant-based diet. This is huge. Meat production in the dairy industry is a huge stress on this beautiful planet. So living more of a plant-based lifestyle where you're ingesting mostly plants and vegetables and nuts and seeds is a great way to reducing your impact on this earth. Another one is get your ice cream. If you go out and get ice cream from an ice cream shop, is to get it in a cone instead of getting it in a single-use container, because you will eat the cone afterwards instead of then throwing the scoop away, which is plastic, and the bowl. So that's a little fun one. Your next one would be to plant a tree, or what I like to do is, instead of throwing my seeds away from if I have an apple or an orange, I keep the seeds and I make a seed jar, and I tend to go out and wherever I find some good fertile soil, I like to plant those seeds. Instead of throwing them away and spreading them to waste, why don't you plant some trees? That's a really, really good one. Another one, and this is a huge one, and I encourage everyone to really empower themselves with knowledge on how to recycle at home. At home, at your office, wherever it may be. Recycling is very simple. Have one bin for your compost, your wet waste, and one bin for your recycling waste. We should not have a bin for unrecyclables. Yes, there might be a little bit, but we're trying to reduce the amount of plastic that is ending up in our landfills. So your compost bin would be all your, if you're vegetarian or vegan, would be all your organic waste, and your recycling waste would then be your recyclables. So your grapes, if you get grapes from a shop and it comes in a container, that can go into recycling, or juice bottles or whatever it may be. Rather send that to get recycled than it's sitting in a landfill where that product can't be reused again. Composting, so this falls into that tip as well, is a big one. If you don't know how to compost, it's a very simple structure. Go online onto YouTube. YouTube is a great source of information and knowledge where you can empower yourself to learn about composting. I learned it all from YouTube. If you don't have the space in your apartment, I would highly recommend a bokashi bin, which is a small bin that you can keep in your kitchen, and you have the bokashi waste with it, and you put all your wet waste, organic waste in there, and you just top it up with your bokashi, and that actually biodegrades naturally. So that's a great one. If you do buy containers from your grocery store, like feta or little glass jars, I highly recommend to, instead of throwing these containers away, put them in your Tupperware cupboard and use them as Tupperwares instead of just throwing them away. I use lots of different Tupperwares, ice cream tubs or whatever it may be. Reuse again. And I think we're on number 10 now, and I would just say my 10 is my most powerful. It's just empower yourself with knowledge and spread the message and just follow your truth, because the more people that stand together to try and make this place a more sustainable and more beautiful earth, the better it will become for future generations. And that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to make it greener for the future generations. Another extra little tip would be, if you do head to the beach this summer, I always take a bag with me, a recyclable bag, or a box, and do a 5-minute beach cleanup, or 1 minute if it's too hot. But before I enjoy Mother Nature, the sun, the ocean, the sand, the beauty around, just to give back a little bit and to clean up what is around me. And this is just a little bit of awareness and consciousness to the space around you. And yeah, just a quick little 5-minute beach cleanup. You can also on Instagram hashtag 5-minute beach cleanup and post the picture if you want, because there's a huge network on Instagram about 5-minute beach cleanups. And yeah, I mean, just spread the word and spread the love.
I have one last question for you.
Yes.
How do you see this planet in 25 years, and how would you like to see it in 25 years?
I try not to focus on the negativity around, and I always try and focus on the positivity. So I'd like to see that the planet is going to only get better. I think the children that we're popping out at the moment are so knowledgeable, so educated, and have a very strong sense of consciousness and so and mindfulness. And so I really have faith and hope that we are on the path to a greener planet. I really do think so.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, and thank you, Ash, for having me on your show. And yeah, pop me a message or an email, whatever it is, if you ever need to ask any questions. Thank you.